Hey guys, Shion0014 here with another video. This is like my third time recording this, but anyways, I made a video about my death and storm setup being majorly nerfed to the ground, basically following this test run patch. According to the Discord server, this is actually intentional on purpose. The damage was redone so schools that are higher damage per pip going to lower damage per pip can use other school spells and hit just as hard. However, lower damage schools going to higher, it's the opposite. So basically you get punished for going into higher schools as a lower damage school. Okay. So that basically means, right, so my pins go from 21 to 9, right, because Storm's a higher damage per pin school than me, damage per pip school than I am as a death, so I get heavily nerfed. The problem with this, though, is that now Storm is broken. And let me show you guys a picture that I found. As you can see in this picture, I found a guy walking around in this room, plus I found in Discord as well, a Storm Wizard that has 451 life damage as a Storm Wizard. So, why is that the case? Anyways, if I go to the pins, and I'll show you why, and I go to the life section, right? There we go, and look for the Storm pin. As you can see, Storm can get 50 damage on a pin for life. 50 damage for one pin on a life. If we look at that, that's if you use 2 swords on all 3 pieces, that's 300 damage already. 100, 100, 100, right? That's already 300 damage right then and there, and that's not including like the wand and everything else, right? So yeah, that's insane. And for instance, right, also another thing that I don't like is that Storm can basically be a better death than death can be a Storm. So as you can see with these change, Storm does 49 death damage. 49. That's way more damage than I can get on my current death right now. Like, that's 200, that's basically almost the same as life, right? That's like 294 damage, right? Just from pins for death. What are we doing, Kiza? What are we doing? This is this is a little extreme, okay? Granted, I know for a long time Storms have been complaining that they couldn't deal weave. I understand that, right? I think all they needed to do, honestly, is just make Storm stronger than make Storm get more damage from off schools. But this much is ridiculous. So if I look at death disabling pin, right, it's 49 death damage. If I go to Storm, every other school except for Fire is like heavily nerfed. 11 for me, right? 13 for Myth, right? 9, 16 for Fire. So the only school that could really kind of do dual school is Fire, right, for Storm. So there's no reason to dual school damage into Storm anymore following this update if they keep these pens the way they are. Do another school if you want to have fun, or just focus on one school, who cares, right? Now I will say for Fire, let's go and look at the Fire pens, right? Let's look at, for instance, like Myth Fire. So and also my other video I talked about my Fire having a lot of Myth damage. Yeah, so I can get 31 damage pins on Fire, right, for Myth. That's like almost already like 200 plus damage right there. That's about 180 something. And then Storm can learn Myth as well. So yeah, Storm basically on all their pins have like 39 through 40 through 50 basically on all their pins, which is ridiculous. So yeah, Storm has basically become the school that if you want to do other school damage, then there you go. Storm's the only one that could really do that to the extreme that this is. 451 by the way. Now granted, this is test ROM, guys. This is subject to change, right? This is like day 2 test ROM, you know, but I thought I'd bring this up because yeah, seeing that kind of like sparked that I don't think this was tested right. Okay, or if this was tested right, I don't think they realized how much people can push the boundaries. What does this mean for my death wizard? So with changing jewels around and stuff, I can get 187 to 14 now. Probably with all the upgrades to all the gear, you can get around 196 storm damage now, which is about a 41% decrease. Now granted, if you don't want death damage and only want storm for some reason, then you can get rid of the death damage here and replace it with storm damage and whatnot, right? But I'm gonna be honest, guys, I think I'm gonna switch my dual school and my death, or just keep this as the way it is and just kind of do a death and storm setup of my storm instead, because storm does a lot more, right? So yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to show for now. If anything updates with the game, for instance, if any of the pins update, I will let you guys know about that instantly, right away. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later next time. Peace.